Hey, hi, hello, welcome to Lost in Prose, where we talk about all things bookish. And in today's video, I will be wrapping up all the books that I read in the month of May. So let's begin. So we are already halfway through the year, and that's interesting, I'd say. But I feel that this year is kind of really slow. I can't say that it's fast, but okay, I like the pace at which it's going. May was a little slow for me reading wise. I read about three books, and I think that's because the first half I had my examinations and then I was traveling. So I just didn't get a lot of time to read because I read one book in the first half and then two books in the next half. So the first half was quite chaotic, I'd say. But anyway, here we are with the reading wrap up. So, the first book that I read was something a little different than what I usually read because it was fantasy. It's Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Berwa. This book literally, like blew me away. I did not expect this from the book at all. And I bought this book very very randomly. And that's because it was on sale. That is why I bought it, because I saw that OMG, it's a hardcover on sale, and why not? So that's why I bought it. But I do not regret my decision at all because the book was so good. So basically, this book is a fantasy book with Indian elements in it. So I've never read a fantasy book with the Indian elements that are done so well in them, and it sort of has a global approach also, and it's not mythology, but it's fantasy on its own. So that also makes it interesting because as far as I have read, it's mostly mythology, Indian mythology, and then fantasy sort of mixed up together. But this is solely fantasy. So if you have more recommendations like that, like this but by Indian authors, then please do let me know. I'd love to read them. So anyway, this book is a truly amazing read. It has a strong female main character, and it highlights the aspect of being trapped, even though you are in an open world around you, but you're just trapped within your own existence. And that's one aspect of the book that I'm highlighting here. And also touches on the aspects of doing what is right for your family, even if it means sacrificing a lot. So that is also one aspect of it. And it also is pretty good paced. I do not read fantasy so quickly, but I finished this quite fast. I really just liked it. It was so hooking, so gripping, that I just couldn't put down. And the book was so pretty, like in its outward appeal, that definitely motivated me to finish it faster. I don't know why. Reader psychology, please help me out. Now, coming to the book description, actually it is about 16-year-old Coral and her older brother Emmerich. They risk their lives each day to capture this monstrous creature, Maris stags, that live in the Black Seas around their area now, or their island basically, and they have to do this, otherwise their family will starve. That is basically their basic occupation, is to do that. And in an oceanic world swarming with vicious beasts, the um landers, or the ruling elite, yes, this also speaks of the social stratification sort of system in a very different way, and how these social classes tend to create a watertight distinction, and they do not allow you to explore your full potential due to social norms and, well, the stratification again. So that is also one crucial aspect of the book, which I forgot to add earlier. So anyway, the landers, or the ruling elite, is basically threatening or has indentured Coral's family to provide the Maris stags for the glory race and a deadly chariot tournament reserved for the upper class. So now the winning contender receives gold as well as glory, and the others, they are just lucky if they survive. So Coral, she takes on this challenge as they cannot find Maris stags that season, and they are on the brink of starvation, and she really has to get medicines, or for her sister's treatment. So she takes part in this golden chariot race and creates quite a buzz. So what happens next is what you'll find out once you read the book, which I highly recommend that you really really should. My next read was Now That You're Rich, Let's Fall in Love by Durjoy Datta. So this book was basically a reread because I had read this book quite a while back, but I didn't remember much of it. So I thought of giving it a reread because it has come out as a series on Amazon Mini Player with the name Pyar Paisa Profit. And of course, as a reader, I would love to compare the book to the series, but it's just based on the book. The series is just based on the book, and it's just in a completely different direction, I'd say. I can't compare both of these things simultaneously because it does, in all fairness, say that it's just based on the book and not literally adapted from it. So it kind of adds its own storyline to make it more entertaining, I'd say. So you can go check it out. It's pretty interesting. It's for free on Amazon Mini Player, or I think even on YouTube. I'm not sure, but you can go check it out. It was quite nice. I saw the entire season and it was pretty entertaining. I kind of enjoyed it. I do not I have never watched 20 episodes so quickly. I'm a very slow watcher. I am still stuck on Gilmore Girls. I still have one entire season to go, but Rory is really just very insufferable. I just cannot. I don't know why she infuriates me. I don't know. I don't want to finish it. But anyway, coming back to the book, I enjoyed it. It was a very light, entertaining sort of a read. So in this, we follow um, four corporate employees, you could say: Abhijit, Saurav, Shruti, and Garima. Now their life is about to change. They are all, selected in quite sought after jobs in the country, and that will pay for all their expensive, their expensive trips, their bags, their watches, their holidays, blah blah blah, everything. But then, is life ever even perfect? So things begin to get tough from day one, as they are thwarted into this world of competition and hustling and stuff like that. So, and of course they are under bosses that are quite strict, or straight out of hell is the term used here. So, and they push them and make their lives quite miserable, I'd say. So things go from bad to worse as they fall in love with the wrong people, and things just get all complex and very tangled and twisted. But that's all about the book that you need to know. It's quite entertaining. It's quite, dramatic also. So if you're going in for something like that, then maybe that this is the book you want to read. The series is also quite interesting. You can go check that out. So next up is Will Grayson by John Green and David Levithan. Now, it has been brought to my notice, and I cannot get it out of my head that Will Grayson sounds like a chant, and I just cannot get that out of my head. It's hilarious. Anyway, another thing that has come to my notice is that both of these are almost similar in color. They're almost the same. What a coincidence. Anyway, Will Grayson is an interesting book, I'd say, because I liked it, but then certain elements I didn't like as well. So I don't know what I should even think about the book, but I think the aspects of it that I like kind of outweigh the aspects of it that I don't like. So I guess I'll say that was a quite decent read. So John Green, of course, is the very famous author of The Fault in Our Stars, which is my favorite book by John Green. I think I've read about I think this was the fourth book by John Green that I've read. And I still think that he hasn't written anything better than The Fault in Our Stars, at least not till now. So I was quite excited to read this one, and this was also pretty fun. It not literally disappoint me like Turtles All the Way Down really did. But anyway, David Levis Hall all the way. Although I haven't read anything by him, but there is a very famous book by him called Boy Meets Boy, which I haven't read. I will definitely, if you tell me to. If you think that it is worth my time, then please do let me know. Anyway, this book is about Will Grayson who meets Will Grayson. Okay, so these are two boys with the same name, but completely opposite, or you know, polar personalities, I'd say. So on one cold night in an unlikely corner of Chicago. Two strangers, they cross their paths, and these are two teens with the same name, and they run in two very different circles. Suddenly, they find their lives going in new and unexpected directions, and sort of, intertwine, and it culminates in a heroic turnout of events. And it is quite, it leads to a dramatic ending in a very over the top musical. So at the high school stage, so that's something to expect when you go into the book. Although there are certain elements of the book, like the portrayal of being fat in the book is kind of problematic, and also sometimes I feel like it's unnecessary. Like, I don't understand that, but it definitely is quite straightforward, so that you have to keep in mind that it speaks of, the teen mind. So honestly, they're not trying to sugarcoat it, because yes, that is how teens would think, right? So I do appreciate the honesty, but yes, sometimes it does feel a little, you know rude, but that's also somehow a part of it, because that's how one Will Grayson actually is. So it's really done very well, because one, like, you don't get confused which Will Grayson is being talked about, so it kind of does become fun. And I think, I'm not sure about this fact, but I think I read it somewhere that John Green wrote one Will Grayson and David Levithan wrote the other Will Grayson. So that's also something I'm not sure about, but I have heard that it's something like that. So yeah, you can easily differentiate between which Will Grayson is which one, because that is one plus point of the book, that they do not make it confusing. So anyway, that is all about the three books that I read in the month of May. So may you subscribe to my channel, please, and we'll meet next Friday. So June is pretty exciting, because in June I complete 1 year over here on YouTube of experimenting and everything, and also I complete 3 years on Bookstagram in June. So that's pretty interesting. So if you have not yet followed me on Instagram, you really, really should. I kind of like the vibe of that platform as well, and it's completely different from this one. I think this is more cozy, very, heart to heart sort of. So both of them have a completely different vibe, and but both of them are of course very important to me. So please do make sure that you follow me at both these platforms. Goodbye, I'll see you next Friday. Don't forget me. Bye.